Okay, so this is gonna be part 4 to What If Deku Had Venom. So let's get started. So in the last video, Deku, he he bonded with Riot, and he won the sports festival. So not time for the internships. So it's the next day. So it's class time. Everyone's talking. Then Aizawa comes in. He tells everyone how well they did and how many internships requests they got. And Deku is at the highest. He's higher. He's in first place with the most recommendations. And they're all excited they're all excited saying oh yeah, we can work with pro heroes and all that. And then Aizawa would say but first you have to pick your hero names. Then that's when Midnight comes in, and Aizawa would say, and Midnight will help you with that. And they would start picking their hero names. And Deku in his head, he's talking with Riot and Venom. And he's saying what should our hero name be? And Venom's saying, it has to be something cool, something vicious, something that people would be afraid of. Villains should be afraid of our name when it's mentioned. Like my name, Venom. And then Riot says no, my name, Riot. And then they would start arguing, and Venom would say, Venom, no, Riot. And they would just continue arguing. Then Deku would say, shut up. Both of you shut up. Since we can't decide, how about virus? They're saying both of them are saying no, that's weird, that's disgusting. Don't pick that hero name. And Deku is saying okay, how about Parasite? And Venom says no, I don't want to be known as I don't want to be known as a parasite. And then Riot says I don't know, I kind of like it. And Venom says, well, I don't. And Deku says, well, it's two against one, so Parasite it is. And Venom would say, fine, whatever. So Deku's hero name would be Parasite. So yeah, if you don't like it, too bad. So they go to their internships. I must say that he would go to Death Arms. He would go to Death Arms agency because he has a super strength quirk. So I think Jiro went to Death Arms too. Yeah, I think she did. So So Deku, he would go with Jiro to Death Arms agency. And yeah. And once they get there, they introduce themselves, and they would start training, and then what Death Arms gets a phone call, and they're saying there's an attack in Hosuru City, we need backup immediately. Death Arms would say, you got it. And he says, alright everyone, we have a situation at Hosuru City, get there as soon as possible. And the sidekicks or the people that work there, they're saying you got it, sir. And then Jiro would ask what's going on. And then Death Arms is saying there's an attack on Hosuru City. I'm pretty sure you guys are ready for attacks like this. And then Venom is saying oh yeah, action, time to fight. Yeah, and Riot's agreeing with it, yeah, let's kick some butt. So they get to Hosuru City, and they see like fire everywhere. And then as and then Deku would say like, "Oh, Nomus are here," and I would say that and Deku would say mask. He would say Venom, like he would say Venom in his head, but he would say out loud mask, and then Venom would say copy, like he does in the movie. So Deku says mask, and then Venom says copy. So then he just takes over. Then he starts fighting the Nomus. I mean, he takes them out pretty easily. And then Wright says like no fun, like no fair. I want to eat some brains. They look good. Deku says fine. You take over. Venom, come back. Venom says whatever. So Riot takes over and starts defeating other Nomus. He sees an alleyway where Ida's there, and he's about to get stabbed by the hero killer, Stain. And yeah. And Deku sees this. He jumps in the way. He blocks the stab. Like he grabs the sword and like breaks it and throws it away. Stain jumps back. And Riot's taking like in charge, like he's in charge right now. And then Stain would say like, ugh, like what are you? Like what are you, you hideous monster? And like Riot gets triggered and he says, "Who are you calling monster?" And he would just start lashing out towards Stain. Stain is like barely dodging the attacks because like Riot's really fast, but Venom's boosting his speed and like his strength. Like he's just enhancing his body overall, so he's even faster. And Riot gets a few good cuts on Stain. And when Stain like jumps and then he's about to land, but he gets punched in the chest by Riot, sent into a wall. And he would look back and he would say, "Are you okay?" to Ida and Native, and they would like, Ida would say, "Yeah, thank you. Who are you?" Then Riot would retreat back into Deku's body and he would say, "It's me, Ida." And he'd say, "Oh, thank you, Deku." Deku would say, "Yeah, no problem." So Deku, he would grab Ida and Native, and he would get them out. And I must say that the Nomu that grabs Deku, it's a lot bigger, like twice as big as the one in canon. So it still grabs him. And Stain doesn't like save Deku because he's actually knocked out. And like when Deku's picked up, he's saying like guys, a little help, and they both say copy. And they'll turn into the combination of both of them, and they would start fighting the Nomu, and the Nomu would start would start flying really high up into the sky, like above the clouds. And then the symbiotes, I don't know what it's called, the fusion. I'll just call it the symbiotes. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it that for now until I think of a name. So both of the symbiotes, they eat the brain, and so they get and they're saying like, "All right, you get half and I get half." And Venom, Riot said that, and Venom saying okay, deal. So they eat half, both of them eat half the brain because it's pretty big. and then they're both of them are falling. Like the symbiotes and the Nomu are falling from a high plate, like a really high altitude, and like they're above the clouds, and they're now seeing buildings, and there's a really tall building next to them, so they go closer to that tall building, and then they just like start they would start like what was it, like they would grab onto the building to like help to make them not fall. Yeah, and then Deku would say like, "Ooh, that was a close one," and then they would see the Nomu falling to the ground. And then both of them saying like, "We're hungry." Like Deku says, "All right, take me to the top of this building, and I'll give you some chocolate." Both of them say, "Okay." So they start scaling the building, and there's like a little ledge, and the symbiotes go back into Deku's body. The heads pop out, one out of each shoulder, and Deku says like, "Here you go," and it's like 4 Hershey's bars, not 5. 1 for Deku and 2 for the 2 for Venom and 2 for Riot. And they're both like happy. He's like, "Yes, 2. We get 2." And Deku says, "Yeah, you earned it." So they're just eating, and like the sun is about to come up. And yeah, Deku, he doesn't visit Ida to the hospital. He doesn't visit Ida to the hospital because he doesn't. Then, yeah, time for the teachers versus students. So they get back. What was it? Oh yeah. Aizawa is saying like your final exams are coming up. Like you better study. And like the class, most of the class is saying like, "Oh, final exams? Are you serious? Like, I don't feel like studying." And Deku is like just over there in his seat, just like studying like right away. And he's got Venom and Riot to help him. And like he's just like talking to them in his mind, and like saying like, "Oh, like I need help on this problem. I don't really understand it." And both of them are like just helping Deku out. And the written test, they do that. Deku, I would say that he ties with Momo in first place. Yeah, I don't really do the written test. I just decided to do it. I might do it in other what ifs. I might not. I just decided to do it in this one. So yeah, and then the teacher test. So the same pairs as in canon. So Bakugo, he would charge straight, like he would just start charging right away towards the center, and then All Might would appear, and he would immediately get like slammed into the ground and thrown into a building. Deku seeing this, he says mask, and both of the symbiotes say like copy, so it's a mixture of the two symbiotes. And All Might, his weights are a lot lighter than this one, so he's attacking with more force and more power. And Deku would start fighting All Might. Their punches would collide, making shockwaves. Deku would throw All Might into a building. All Might would get up and then punch Deku. and send Deku towards the building, and they'll just be continuing that for a little bit. And then All Might would go for what seems like a regular punch to the chest, but really he turns the direction of his fist and uppercuts Deku, and sending him flying up. And Deku, he's falling. He falls to the ground. Then All Might is about to be on top of Deku, but Deku moves out of the way. And then, like, when All Might lands, Deku kicks him right. Like, he kicks like All Might's stomach, like sending him back like so far. And like I forgot, like Bakugo is knocked out. Like I said, like since All Might's weights are a lot lighter. Yeah. Like it was more power and force, so it knocked Bakugo out. And yeah, so All Might would be sent flying. He would hit the outer fence of the city arena, and he was like start coughing up. He would start coughing and all that, and he would say like, "Yeah, that was a big attack." And All Might's looking for Deku, but Deku is actually like jumping to building to building. He's like using his tentacles to swing around the place, the buildings and all that. And like when All Might turns around, he gets kicked in the face by the two symbiotes, or Deku. No, there's two symbiotes. Yeah, I forgot. So he gets kicked in the face, and then the two symbiotes get the handcuffs. They handcuff All Might, and they win. So yeah, that was the teachers versus student test. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.